G&T. Today on Steve Harvey, Steve talks one-on-one with Oprah.
This feels like the ultimate role reversal.
Nothing is off limits.
There was definitely some chemistry.
Was you handling your business, though?
Plus, her surprise revelation.
I'm having an aha moment with Steve.
And he's help asking out his dream prom date. The only catch, she has no idea.
Someone has something to say to you. I'm here to help you. You and I will get through this together.
Been there, done that.
Well, there's a young boy here who knows just who he wants to go to the prom with, but he's nervous about asking her. So he sent me a tape, and he asked me for some help. We're going to work it out for him. I need no expert at this. But first, the audience has questions, and I got answers. Let's go. It's Ask Steve. Hey, let's start off with Katie Lee, who doesn't like her friend's boyfriend. Where's that?
Hi.
Hi.
My friend recently started dating this guy. It's not that we don't like him, it's just that he doesn't really fit in with our group. We're fun, we're bubbly, and he's pretty boring. And it's become more obvious that we don't really want to spend time with him recently. We've started fighting over who has to sit by him at dinners and events that we go to. How do we politely tell her that we do not want to hang out with him anymore?
What? You don't like the guy?
It's hard to talk to him. I mean...
Listen, watch this. You don't like the guy?
Not particularly.
I don't know if you could do anything about it. I mean, that's her choice. I mean, the only thing you can do is stop inviting her. See how that works? See how hate works? Hate is an ugly thing. See? So, I mean, obviously she sees something in this guy that the rest of you don't. He's exciting somewhere. You can believe that. Yes. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a boyfriend?
I do have a boyfriend.
Do you ever bring him?
All the time.
Does everybody like your boyfriend?
They say they do.
That's not true. I think from now on, you should sit next to him at all the dinners and all the parties. Because you're struggling the most. And you need a little character building, and it'll show you how to sit next to somebody you hate.
I wouldn't say I hate him, but you know what?
See
Maybe there's something there.
See that right there. Now you find out that you don't hate him. Now he's really not that bad. So just sit next to him. Have yourself a nice time. Have him pick lint off your clothes and stuff. Give him something to do.
Okay.
We got time for one more question. It's from Amy, who's a tourist here in Chicago. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm visiting from San Antonio this week, but we don't know what we should do to have fun or where we should go eat, and we'd love a recommendation on the places we should hit before we leave.
Well, my wife and I love this city, but I got a buddy that knows a lot more about Chicago than I do. So, can my partner come on out?
The queen of daytime. Stay your asses up for the queen.
Chicago! Okay, so, Amy, with that question? It's Amy?
Yes.
You know, I love to eat, okay?
Me too.
So, RL's right there in the corner of Chicago and Michigan.
Okay.
Great. It's like really comfy, homey. You know, you ask for my table or his. Or there's another wonderful place called Cut, where it's a little louder, a little noisier, a little more boisterous. And if you're here for more than one night, either one.
Okay.
Okay? Good for you, Amy. You know, I brought you some of my favorite stuff.
Really?
Yes, and in here somewhere is a ticket for you and your family to go to RL's or to Cut, okay?
Oh.
And this is all my other favorite stuff. Like, have you been to Garrett's? Have you had Garrett's popcorn?
Yes,
It's
yes,
my
yes.
favorite.
Oh, man, you and my wife. Yeah. I got this right here. I hold this. I got it.
I bought Garrett's for everybody!
Of course. You know, so
Hey,
you
listen, everybody. We got a lot more Oprah when we come back. Yeah, man.
Coming up next, a very special visit from the one and only Oprah Winfrey.
This feels like the ultimate role reversal.
Find out what Steve's picked up from the queen of daytime TV.
I see so many of my crew here.
That's what I was going to tell you. Steve ain't stupid.
And later, this shy teen needs some courage to ask out his crush.
So you kind of like this girl.
I think she's very beautiful.
Can Steve help him plan a sweet gesture?
I want you to say, you are my MacGyver child. Well, I'm back, everybody. I'm here with the one and only Oprah Winfrey. I mean...
This feels like the ultimate role reversal going on here. This is the ultimate role reversal.
You know, when my book first came out, you put me on.
Yes, I did. Not just one, but two shows.
No, the first time she put me on, it was just for a segment or two.
Yeah.
Then in the middle of the show, she said, I'm going to bring Steve Harvey back for a whole hour.
Yeah.
I started crying. I'm on Oprah for an hour. I went home, told my mama she in heaven.
And now you're here in Chicago on your own stage with your own show.
You're damn right.
Man, I gotta tell you. How does it feel being back in Chicago?
You know, everybody thinks I left. I didn't really leave. I am between cities. So I haven't, listen, my apartment's the same. I still walk my dogs in the same park. Won't tell you where. But I basically still have, my Harpo Studios is still here because Harpo produces for OWN. So the next chapter is produced by producers at Harpo. Beyond the show's produced by producers at Harpo. So I still have my business here in Chicago. Right. And I still have the apartment. So I'm back and forth all the time.
Right. What do you miss about it?
Well, I got a little choked up seeing you guys today, because what I really miss is the camaraderie with the audience every day. So when I'm watching your show and the whole Ask Steve segment and your ability to, connect to the audience, I did that for 25 years, and I never wanted to get to the spot where I thought, well, I am done in this moment. I wanted to keep rising and to lead while I was still rising. Yeah. And when I look back at the body of work, those of you who've watched us for years, it's astounding.
No, really it is.
It's astounding.
I was watching the thing that TV Guide was doing on you.
Yes.
The 25
I watched that too, and I went,
I was sitting there going,
have mercy.
There's all that.
Yeah. On one show, you're in Auschwitz with Elie Wiesel. Another show, you're with the Ku Klux Klan in Georgia. And another show, you're talking about child abuse. And another show, you're talking. So I think that what the show was for the culture really has allowed everybody else to be who and what they are. And I think everybody has to understand in your life when it's time to pass it on and release it and to move to the next thing. So I was ready for that.
When you were composing that body of work,
yeah,
did you have any idea of what it would mean to so many people.
No, I didn't. But I did have a moment years ago when I was on the show and we were doing what they call confrontational television. Because when I first started, you couldn't get people to cry on television or to tell their stories on TV. And I was in the middle of a show, actually with one of the skinheads in Ku Klux Klan, and I saw them signaling each other in the audience. And I recognized in that moment that I don't want to do this. I only want to have a platform that's going to be a force for something better than this. I thought I was using it to inform people at the time, but people don't need to know about the Ku Klux Klan. They really don't. Everybody always knows about Ku Klux Klan. So I decided around 1989, 90 that I was going to change the format and that I was going to use television and not be used by television. And that shift really made all the difference. You know, I think it sort of set us apart from everybody else in the game.
Yeah, now, you know I'm going into my second season.
Yeah.
That was an
you
amazing.
baby.
Yeah, hold me.
Okay.
Take care of little baby Steve.
Well, the reason why I think you're doing so well, what really works and what I know you all respond to is the truth. And so when you find a way in, when you can find a way to every day to offer your truth to the people will receive it. Yeah. That is what I know.
You being as famous as you are,
yeah.
What is it that people don't really know about you or really get about you?
Well, I think people who know me well and people who watched over the years know that what I presented on the air, what you saw, was exactly who I am. So I would say there's nothing that people don't know about me other than I'm a little more boring than you would think. You know, I think people don't know that on the weekends I cook for Stedman and I make really good cornbread and that I put the corn in the cornbread. I do that and I like mine thin. I like it all that. So people think that when you're famous you're leading this kind of, glamorous life, but you know that the real time is the time that you can spend with your family and connect with your family. Right now I have 16 girls from South Africa who have now come to the United States. They're all going to college in the United States. 9 of them, are living with me in Santa Barbara until they all go off to their colleges in September. I'm going on spring break now with 12 of them. We're all going on spring break together. Don't go. Don't do it. I got 12 girls and 5 dogs in Stedman. We're all going to spring break.
Hey, folks, more with Oprah Winfrey right after the break.
Coming up next, Oprah's outrageous story about her latest on-screen love.
He was on Twitter the other day talking about my breasts. I do have big breasts.
And later, this high school senior has a prom date dilemma.
I'm afraid if I don't find that courage soon to ask her out, I'm going to miss out on a big chance.
Steve helps him pull off a huge surprise.
I don't know why I'm here. This is nuts.
Steve's taking this fast-paced family back to the 70s.
No computer, no cell phone.
Will a trip to the past help his family's future? Then a 70s game show favorites.
Oh, please do Family Feud next time. Monday. This is always to do.
Hey, we're back, everybody, and I'm sitting here with my friend Oprah Winfrey. All the things you've done for so many people, what's been the reward for you?
Well, the reward is always in the giving. You know, no matter if you give somebody something and they really appreciate it, the reward is in the appreciation. I will tell you that here at the United Center for that final show, I have to say this, that my crew, I see so many of my crew here. That's
hey, that's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
You know, Steve ain't stupid. Seriously, and all of them here talking about,
yes.
Steve, I just want you to know, I used to work with Miss Winfrey. I know, we got all y'all.
No,
everybody we could.
They're all in suits. I go, what happened? Is there a suit rule? All them wear suits for me. People don't know this. That final show at the United Center, my team got in on a Sunday Monday morning at 1 in the morning. So from 1 a.m. until Tuesday at 7 p.m. when the doors open. Less than 48 hours. They did that show. They turned that thing around and did it. It's still one of the most amazing things. But my point is, when those men from Morehouse walked out, I realized that, you know, over the years, I have been putting a lot of people through school. But that moment when those guys from Morehouse, and I could see and feel that, oh my God, it's not just one life. You're changing a generation. You change that guy's family. You change that guy's ability to not just, you know, be who he is, but to get a job and what he will pass on to his kids. That was actually the most rewarding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because that was my next question.
Yeah.
Because I heard you mention the school.
Yeah.
So I would take, are those two of the most proudest moments?
Yes, and my girls are now going to college. I think, you know, when they graduated, I say to them all the time now, listen, I know where you came from. I saw you when you were carrying a bucket of water on your head. So, yeah. So to see them now be able to evolve into the women that I knew they could be when I was going through the villages and townships, picking them, that's really, really rewarding. Yeah.
Is there a moment when you think back on all of the decisions you've made in your career on your show that you wish you could rerun? Do you ever think of it like that?
No, I don't. When I first started, there was nobody who looked like me because, you know, there were no brown-skinned women really doing anything. That's why we were all like, Michelle Obama.
Damn right.
So when I first started, the idea that you could be a brown-skinned woman successful in television, unheard of. And I came into this business with the intention just to do the best that I could. And as I continue to move forward, I figured out that what I really want to do is to help people honor their calling, because my calling is to help people honor their calling and to find their purpose in life and to have the life that they want. That's what I use that show for.
Wow.
And that's what I now try to continue to use the network for.
Speaking of the network, which I absolutely love, because you have done what a lot of people thought could not be.
I know.
Because you have turned this thing around.
I know.
Now it's in a little calmer water now.
Yes, we're pivoting.
You know.
Yeah.
And the haters, you know.
Woo.
Yeah.
Woo.
The haters.
This time last year, the haters were on me. But Maya Angelou said to me years ago when I was, you know, she was one of my, she said, baby, right now you're in show business, but one day you will know that the only business really to be about is your father's business. And I'm not talking about Bernard. So when I learned to use the work, and I say that to all of you here, you use your work as a service. When you shift the paradigm to how can I use this to serve other people, which is what I did with the Oprah Show. After that, you know, episode with the Klan, I go, how do I use this instead of being used? I want to use TV as a service. Because then you're serving something that's bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, and it's so...
I can preach here in a minute.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. It's true.
It's absolutely true.
You know, building a network is a difficult thing. It's far more difficult than I knew that it would be.
Why did you do it? I mean, look, all of this success.
Yeah, I could have just...
balling out of control, you had it.
Yeah, I could have.
Why?
Because I wanted to be challenged by what is the next level. In every stage of my life, there is a sort of a yearning thing that starts to happen where you feel like you need to go. This is the pattern in my life. Everybody has a pattern. You got to figure out yours. My pattern is when I've grown as much as I can grow in this particular space, it's time to move. So I felt that in 25 years, I had grown, I had done every show. I'm telling you, if I'd have stayed on the 26th season, we'd have been going to the moon. And one of my producers had literally come to me with the idea of Richard Branson taking us out of space with the audience, and I go, that's it. That's it. That's
Gotta stop.
Gotta stop.
Hey, now, let me shift gears a little bit here, because what is this I hear? That you were doing a love scene with Terrence Howard, Oprah.
I just heard him say love scene.
Love scene.
Yes, I did this movie called The Butler with Lee Daniels, who is a great director. And it was supposed to be like a little scene. And because Terrence Howard misbehaved, it turned into a bigger scene. And then a bigger scene.
Oh, he misbehaved.
He's a misbehaving kind of boy. He's a misbehaving. I heard him. He was on Twitter the other day talking about my breasts.
Oh, yeah. I told Terrence Howard, you're going to mess your whole life up, son. This ain't who you want to play with now. Just do your little movie scene, try to act like a professional about it, go on about your business.
Did you tell him?
Yeah, I told him. He was all on TV. I said, hey, son, this ain't how you go. You got money. You got money. Your little next movie get bought. So that was interesting.
I wasn't, you know what, some people call me saying they were all offended by it. I go, well, I do have big breasts.
Damn right. Damn right.
I do.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Yes. No, and he said I was a voluptuous woman, so there was definitely some really strong chemistry.
But let me ask you a question, though. Was you handling your business, though? Open, Got you.
I think we'll be back after this message.
As a matter of fact, we got a lot more to come right after this break. Stay with us.
Coming up next, an inside look at Oprah's inspiring new show.
One of the most important shows that I think I've done ever.
And Steve shocks her with some unexpected advice.
I'm having an aha moment with Steve.
And it's about you.
And later, products to help you stay ahead of potential burglars.
See the can of lettuce? That's not what that is. You hide your money in the lettuce.
Hey, baby, won't you take a chance? Say that you'll let me have it, dance a little.
Because I said I would do it. I said I would do it.
You know something? I think a big part of that has to do with your spirituality.
Oh,
How has that evolved over the years because you've become more and more about it?
I think there is no life without a spiritual life. And I tried to have that emanate from me over the years. And it doesn't matter to me what religion. What matters to me is that you recognize that there is something greater than yourself. And I do that. And my favorite Bible verse is, in God I move and breathe and have my being. And that is how I operate my entire life. Everything comes from the center of that. I mean, it's incredible that I am 59 years old, born in Kosciuszko, Mississippi in 1954, and was able to do all the things that I am doing and continue to. That is a miracle. That is just a miracle. That is nothing but that. So there's nothing but God in that, and you can see God moving in your own life. And you know, I grew up believing that what they told me in church was true. My view of what God is expanded as I grew as a little girl. But when they would say you are God's child, I really did believe that. I really did. So I would go to school and get beat up because when they say, who's your daddy? Because I didn't live with my daddy for the first 8 years of my life. I said, Jesus, he my daddy. And then they would say, this girl crazy. She said, Jesus, her dad. So growing up with a belief that there was something greater than yourself is really what is.
It will be pretty threatening, though.
Yes.
I'll be back with the Lord. Hey, be here, Hill. Be here. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about the network. Tell us about your new Life Class episode.
Well, my new Life Class episode with Ian Leventant is one of the most important shows that I think I've done ever. And I've done a lot of shows. The crisis in our country that we see in our prisons and in our schools, it's because people are not being parented, and specifically, boys not being fathered. So, Ian, I wanted to do a show on fatherless sons. Let's take a look.
Absolutely.
Okay. If nothing else comes out of this show tonight, what I'm hoping is, even if you're not willing to go down the road of strengthening your marriage, that you don't remove the father from your child's life because you are not involved. And I have to say this. I have to say this for all of the younger women who may be watching. Let's be clear and conscious about us having children with men we're not married to without being clear with them that that's what they want to do. Because one thing that prevents a man from being a good father is that he hasn't completed being a boy.
Yeah.
So he hasn't completed being a boy. And so now you've given him a baby, and so we got to be clear about that. Yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff.
That's really good.
Good stuff.
I like that. And I love Iyanla, too.
Yes, I know. I saw her.
I love her. And you know, one of the basic things that's missing, and it's just very basic, is just the imagery.
Yes.
If you don't have a father, it's some little idiosyncrasies that you cannot learn.
That's right, because you need a man to tell you that you are a man.
Right.
You know, somebody said on this show, one of the experts on the show, said, every boy who has a father missing has a hole in his soul that's the shape of his father. I was so moved by that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's such a tough job.
For mothers raising sons.
It's
you can't
daunting.
be a father. You can't be a father.
Because you do not know the idiosyncrasies of manhood.
You don't.
And now you can turn your son into a good citizen.
Yes, you can.
God-fearing, a great student.
Yeah.
You can teach him to be law-abiding. You get a lot of stuff out of your son. But to be a man, he has to find a man that he can emulate. Because it's the little things, you know. How do you talk to a man by looking him in the eye? How do you shake a hand? When you go to the bathroom. Years ago, I dated a girl who had a little boy. Yeah. And I was over there, and the little boy, he went to the bathroom, he sat on the toilet. Just
like she did.
Just because he didn't know. I went, hey, my man, you got to stand up and fire. I said, dude. So I started working with him. He started fitting. He thought it was fun. He took it a little bit too far. He was all up on the shower curtain with it. And then at the end of it, he would come in there, and you see little boys with little blotches on their pants. Because you got to teach them the rest of it. You know, this little girl.
I never thought of this before. I'm having an aha moment right now.
I'm
having an aha moment with Steve.
And it's about urinating. And that's... You gotta squeeze, and then you gotta get this in. You have to do this.
You do.
If no one tells you that,
I never knew that.
You can't just put him in your pants.
You can't.
And it's over. You got to do this here.
Well, things like that.
Well,
yeah. And more, you know, just allowing somebody to know that they are seen. I mean, you need to be seen by somebody who looks like you to feel like you are seen.
Because, you know, in that life class that you're doing with Iyanla, a very gripping moment was her son was in the audience.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because for the first time that year in his life, he had seen his mother and father in the same room talking.
Yeah. We're doing a lot of good things on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I thank you all for your support. I've turned it around with the help of my whole team.
Oprah, you were the best who has ever done this.
Oh.
There will never, ever be another Oprah Winfrey. I kid you not. You will ride off into the sunset as the king and queen of television. And I love being your friend. Thank you, darling. Oprah Winfrey, folks.
Thank you.
Your ass is up.
Be sure to watch Oprah's Life Class, Father and Sons, this Sunday, April 28th on the OWN Network. We'll be right back. I had Oprah Winfrey on my show.
Coming up next, this teen's having a tough time popping an important question.
You don't want to ask her because she might say no.
Yeah. Steve's got a plan to boost his confidence in a big way.
Okay, parents, here it is. Prom season is approaching, and we all know that means it's time for your teenage boy or girl to pick a date. Now, this can be troubling for a lot of people. It was troubling for me. I never asked the girl I wanted to take to my prom. I never built up the courage. I just couldn't do it. I ended up going at the last minute with a girl that went to my church, and all night I was looking over at that other girl,
Jesus.
man. I had blew it, but I didn't have the courage back then.
Oh,
Anyway,
shut up.
when I got this request from a nervous high school senior, I kind of felt like I had to help this guy, because boy, could I relate to it. So check out the tape, folks.
My name is Nathaniel, and I really need some help. My senior prom is coming up, and I really want to ask this girl Kelly to be my date. I think we'll have a great time, but it's been hard talking to her, let alone to ask her to the prom. What if she says no? I'm afraid that if I don't find that courage soon to ask her out, I'm going to miss out on a big chance. Or even worse, I'm going to go to my own prom by myself. I really need your help so I can have a great prom. Can you please help me?
All right, everybody, please welcome a new buddy, 17-year-old Nathaniel. Hey, Nathaniel, how you doing?
How's it going, Mr. Harvey?
Good. What is it about Kelly that's got you so nervous?
Well, she's a junior at my high school, and she's an awesome girl. She's, every time I see her, she just puts a smile on my face.
Yeah. So you kind of like this girl, then?
I do. I think she's very beautiful.
So do you think she might like you back?
Well, I hope so. She plays volleyball. And so I used to go to her meets and, support her. And then once my season came, I wrestled all 4 years. And she come and made me feel special to see her.
Oh, she saw you. Oh.
Yeah, she moved in quite a few.
Oh.
Our schedule started to change. My season ended, her season ended, and pretty much the whole going to each other's sports, it was not there anymore. And not being able to see her anymore really set us apart. It started to become harder to talk to her.
Is she a popular girl at the school?
She is. Everyone loves her. She's very outgoing, and she's the person that holds the conversation. She's like,
oh, okay.
So that's kind of intimidating.
Yeah. Why haven't you asked her?
Well, without the sports being there and stuff, it's just, I didn't feel like I know her enough anymore to ask her to such an important event. It's my last year, and I really want it to be special, and I would love for it to be her.
I'm feeling you, man. I really am, man. But, see, I got to get you to understand a couple things. You kind of don't want to ask her because she might say no.
Yeah.
So, let's just go with this one right here. If you don't ask her, she's not going.
Yeah.
We got to take this shot. We got to ask her. So I'm going to help you out. Now, I did some research to find out a couple of things about her. I just want to see if you know any of this. Do you know what type of flowers she likes?
Pink rose?
You already know that?
It's something that I just heard, I caught. It's the little things I try to remember.
Nathan, see, you didn't just hear that and caught that. You memorized it and burned it. And then you burned it in your brain. Because you said, if I ever get some money, she getting a hand full of them pink roses. Ain't that what you said, Nathan? All right, let's go with that, baby. All right. Okay, now we got that out the way. I found out her favorite candy. Do you know what that is? She likes Godiva chocolates. I'll put them in a basket for you because I want you to do something real slick. This is a move now. I can't guarantee you that she's going to say yes. But what we as men learn how to do, make it real hard to say no. I want you to say, I gave you your favorite chocolates because you're my favorite person. Start right there.
Yeah.
And I want to take my favorite person to the prom because you are my Godiva chocolate.
Excuse me.
Man, Nathaniel, if I only knew then what I know now, Patricia Riley would have been at the prom with me. Oh, I know her name, man. I didn't have this, man. I talked to my brother about it. He gave me some bad advice. Man, just go on over there and ask him.
Yeah.
Have you heard that one before?
I was thinking of doing that.
Yeah. But then you couldn't quite get the confidence up, right? So now, what we've done is we're creating a scenario that makes it a little difficult to say no. You're a good kid. You're solid. You like this girl. Now, if she likes you, I don't know. First, you just won't get to the prom.
Yes.
Okay. Kelly is backstage. She has no idea that Nathaniel is here to ask her to the prom. She actually thinks that the classmate is here to ask her something or inform her of something, but she has no idea what it is or who it is. We have a surprise for her and for you. As soon as we come back, me and Nathan going to work.
let you know that you are my good diamond chocolate and my pink curls. Will you go to the prom with me?
Yes, yes.
So worried about my little dude, man. What you want to do is send me a tape. Just send me a video. He said, Mr. Harvey, I need your help. It's the most wonderful girl in the world. I want to take her to the prom, but I'm not confident enough to ask her.
He's on TV right now.
Yeah. Standing next to you. I'm ready. Holla at you. Okay, now listen. Kids, I want to make sure that this is a real night for you guys to remember. We're going to help you dress with style. We got a tux for Nathaniel, and we got a custom-made dress and purse from lightinthebox.com for Kelly.
Oh, my God.
Plus, we're sending both of them to Mario Tricosi. Nathaniel is going to get a haircut, and Kelly is going to get her hair styled, and you got to get makeup done as well. The whole works. And you got to get a manicure and a pedicure. And there's one more thing. They'll be rolling up to the big dance in a limo provided by Windy City Limousine. So listen to me, folks. Go to SteveHarveyTV.com. Find out how the prom went. We're going to follow along, see how it goes for him. Nathaniel, Kelly, have a great time.
Thank
You
you so
beautiful young
much.
lady. Oh, man, you did it, baby. It's my little dude right here. We did it. We're going to the prom, baby. We'll be back.
Coming up next, need a discreet spot to stash your cash?
This looks like your average candle, right?
How to keep the location of your valuables a burning secret.
And what you can't do is forget and light your money on.